Karibu katika hii tutorial yetu. On this tutorial tutajifunza all about code generation using freezed. So tutaona freezed package inatusaidia nini kwenye ku develop features by generating codes ambazo mostly tunazihitaji na tunahitaji kuziandika, lakini tutaona jinsi gani inatusaidia kwenye maintenance, especially ukiwa na a lot of features. So ukitumia freezed, productivity inaongezeka na vitu vinakuwa at least simpler to do. So kwenye tutorial yetu at least you have to have a knowledge of that and a knowledge of Flutter. Okay, and the tutorial will consist of two parts. Part 1 itakuwa REST API integration in Flutter, ambayo tutajifunza jinsi ya ku deal with HTTP calls, get, delete, read a particular detail, update. So tutajifunza all of that, which is especially mostly important ili baadaye unapoweza kufanya unapoanza kuintegrate API ambazo utakuwa umepewa, you have this knowledge, utakuwa unaweza kuintegrate easily. So utakuwa, this is going to be a very simplified version, na tutaenda more of clean architecture and all of that. Itakuwa ni a simplified version just to make sure a bit layers unaziseparate, and then we need to deal with the HTTP calls, then tutakuja define, tutatengeneza hizo interfaces. So we're going to see that, and tutatumia freezed for block, kugenerate block for state management na models. This inaweza kaa kwa mwingine it's a new thing block, but I will try my best to explain it in a very simple way. Lakini of course kwenye previous tutorials on clean architecture nimeelezea vile block. So we're going to see how can we tunatumiaje freezed to generate easy block pamoja na models ambazo tutatumia kwa ajili ya kufanya serialization na deserialization kwa ajili ya hizo JSON data ambazo tunazipata kwenye server. Of course we're going to do a bit of interfaces, deal na kutajifunza jinsi ya kutengeneza reusable widget just for clean code, and then we're gonna move to part 2. So part 1, then tutakuja kuona part 2. This is mostly optional, but we can just utaangalia mark mostly tutadeal tuna testing kwenye hii feature yetu ambazo tutaitengeneza. Kwa tutakuwa na unit testing, tutakuwa na block testing, tutakuwa na widget testing. We'll see if of course naweza tukawa na integration testing kwa ajili ya kutest end-to-end testing. Kwa hiyo itakuwa mostly just testing, so it's optional of course, so lazima sana. Okay, so I want to show you the final version of application yetu. Hii ndio itakuwa application yetu. Hizi data nimetoa kwenye API. Okay, so tutaangalia jinsi ya kufetch hizi data zote. Okay, so kuna pull to refresh, it's happen faster kwa sababu ya is a local server, and kutakuwa kuna add button hapa, and then hapa uta add create customer. Let's call him John Doe, email john@doe John Doe @gmail.com, first name. So mostly just to kuweza kujifunza jinsi ya quickly integrate his API, create data, send data manake kwenye server, and retrieve those data. Okay, so just gonna write randomly, hope this is your number. Okay, so ita submit, ita send data, and then to return us here on the customer page. it will retrieve it. Okay, so and also you can update. Hapa kuna hizi pop-up menu button, then kutoka kuna edit, kuna delete. Let's try and kutoka kuna edit. Let's John updated. Okay, and update. Okay, John updated, amesha update. But of course also tunaweza tuka delete. If you want to delete John updated, yes. So it's a simple feature. Mostly focus kubwa ni kutumia freezed kwa ajili ya kugenerate blocks na models. Nataona jinsi gani inasaidia sana na inarahisisha na ina speed up development, lakini vile vile is just for people who want to get into a block. Maybe amemfanyia kwenye ametumia sana GetIt or Riverpod, anataka to understand block chap how to integrate it and then to code, but I mean include all of this get, put, delete, kwa sababu mostly ni za muhimu sana kwenye a lot of features. Tutakuwa unakutana na hizi kind of method you have to understand them na jinsi gani ya kucommunicate na server. Okay, so this is all. Let's continue kwenye, let's quickly tuende kwenye kutengeneza project yetu. Okay, so now you can create a project. Just Flutter create the name of the project. Okay, you can call anything, minimate out of Flutter freezed. Okay, so the main to start with, you need this package. Okay, we're gonna tutazihitaji kwenye tutorial yetu. Okay, so that's these are for equality, deal for network calls, equitable. No, this is for dealing with failure or kwenye tunapo deal na HTTP calls. Equitable just for equality. Flutter Bloc tutatumia for state management. We're gonna need freezed. Okay, we're gonna need freezed annotation. Okay, yeah, you're going to see it, lakini we add it, you can just go to okay, unaweza ukaenda kwenye pub.dev au ukatumia hii pub assist. Okay, I think it's an extension, pub assist, pubs sec. Did I call it well? No, not installed. How can I move to? Sec. This one, okay, sorry. Yeah, and key install. Utapata by for Mac I think is Command Shift P, for Windows I think is Control Shift P, and then utapata pub assist. If you know the name of the package, of course, or whatever on add, can add with commas, then it install. Okay, and for dev dependency we need block test, tutatumia baadaye for testing. We need build learner for code generation. So we'll use this to build container JSON serializable. We need the freezed, we need Mockito and Mocktail. Okay, so just add this dependency. And lastly I've had this file. This was mostly tunavyokuwa tuna deal na images or anything SVG icons. We usually add file kwenye root asset, then you can call images. Okay, so here you go just here and add it. Kuna file moja tu tutalihitaji, then we're going to see of course, lakini mostly kama mtu ambaye how do you add images kwenye project yako, this is how you do it. Okay, so okay, so we have of course nimesha kind of project structure. Okay, so we're going to have source, we're going to have main, and then ndani ya lib tutengeneza folder source, and then features, it means for us inside the features to add one feature customers, tuta add other okay, tutapokuwa tunatengeneza tutatengeneza hizo layers zake. Okay, it means ukiwa na feature nyingine hapa you add it here, authentication or auth. Okay, so this is how we do it. Feature first, and it's idea to just to separate things. We're going to have core. Okay, so core we're going to have common, mostly up to widgets ambazo zinajirudia. Just we're going to see how to do it. Constant. Here we're going to add dependency injection. Here tutakuja ku add network configuration is all utils and helpers ambazo zitatusaidia. Okay, so we can just create this and then we are going to start. So before start, I want to explain a bit why freeze. Okay, so this is the package, mostly heavily just for. Okay, so code generation for immutable classes that has a simple syntax API without compromising on the feature. For me, I can explain a bit the problem and why freeze inatusaidia mostly inatatua shida inatatua tatizo gani. Ukienda hapa kwenye picture mostly, so this is without freeze. Okay, so what is it? Kwa mfano tunapodili na network calls or tunapodefine class for just dealing kubadilisha au to change the state of maybe one person, maybe first name or last name, whatever. We will need mostly all of this. From JSON, it means maybe you are dealing with network calls. Copy with, maybe you want to change a particular person and the rest. A particular person tunataka ku change only last name, but the first name we want to leave it as it is. Age you want to leave it as it is. So copy with is very powerful. Okay, it just change a particular attribute ambayo utaielezea ni ipi. To JSON, maybe mostly kukiwa na send data tutaona to the server. To string mostly for debugging purpose, and this is for equality. Okay, so the problem is this is a simplified version, and mark it or not freeze. You're going to see you just annotate it with freeze, and then this is how you define it. With this you get it will do all of this. Okay, manake ita generate is code zote to JSON, from JSON to string, and the equality one with this hash code, I think. Okay, but you don't have to do this. Ukitumia freeze, you just define data zako and types and this from JSON, and it will deal with all of this. Okay, now mostly wakati mwingine unaweza kwa uhitaji from JSON, we just need this copy with and to string. So this is a simplified version. That is only nini. Sometimes you can start with only 3 attributes: first name, last name, age. Okay, yeah, maybe class person, and then later on kuna vitu vingine vinaongezeka, maybe just to have more information of that particular person. Sasa if you didn't use freeze, it means kama umedefine manually, utahitaji kwenda mwenyewe manually from JSON uka add, and utaenda mwenyewe manually for copy with, utaenda mwenyewe manually for to JSON, utaenda mwenyewe manually to string, uta add all of those hata kama ni moja. So imagine this first name, last name, age, maybe zitakuwa attributes zingine zitaongezeka, maybe zitafika hadi 20. It means the code itakuwa very huge, and then you have to go, file itakuwa kubwa, alafu still you have to go manually kwenye each method and add that whatever the data type ambao unataka kuiongeza. So problem is you may misspell it, you may add something in a wrong way, and you have to, unaweza kupata bug, and you have to go through where the bug is. Kwa hiyo ndio tatizo kubwa sana. Okay, lakini with freeze you just add that data type. Okay, discuss na team, mmeona mongeze data type mbili, maybe string, maybe city. Okay, maybe and address. You just add here city with a string and then address, maybe a string, and then boom, unaenda tutatengeneza, build, generate your code, it will add all of that for you. Okay, so this is very important. na ndio maana nikasema inatusaidia sana kwenye project ambazo zinakuja kuwa kubwa. You need to add more data types. You'll have to you don't have to stress much of going through each method here to string to JSON from JSON just to add type au data type ambao mmediscuss au ambao unatakiwa uiongeze. So with freezed it handle that, but also tutaona kwenye block you can also use freezed. Tutaona jinsi gani inatusaidia instead of defining block manually. Okay, so freeze is very good and it's very helpful na ku increase speed ya ku develop certain feature. Okay, so let's go on and let's start. Okay, so tumeshamaliza ku define initial setup for project. Now just define kwenye feature, define easy folder. This is how we're going to structure our folder. We're going to have models about to deal na serialization and deserialization, presentation, likewise na deal na UI, all of the user interface. Services, we're going to deal with network calls here. Okay, so the first thing we need to fetch all user. This is going to be a first I think I can call it feature or task ya kwanza ni ku deal with calling all of customers. Okay, so this is an endpoint and this is our response coming from our local server. Okay, so we're going to use freeze to we're going to see how we're going to deal with doing serialization and deserialization. Okay, so this is our response, these are data types. Okay, so we need to let me show you some extensions that are going to help you with speed. Okay, you need freezed from Blacksu. Okay, this is going to help us generate freeze class easily, and also because we're dealing with block, we're going to need freeze block by how. Okay, we're going to see how to use all of them. So now let's go to customer kwenye model and then right click and then go to generate a new freeze class. Just call it customer, takuuliza jina, just call it customer model. Do you need to add JSON to JSON and from JSON? Yes. Okay, so this is a beauty of extension kwa sababu itakutengenezea this, you don't have to write it on your own, you know, so for speed. So we need to define our model. Okay, always just check for your response, data types and names coming from the server. Okay, so we have an ID which is an int type, okay, as you can see here, and username, email, first name, last name, address, and phone number, which is a string. All of them are string. Okay, so let's define them. We need to an ID which is an int. Okay, and then we're going to have a string username. Okay, so we're going to have also I believe email. Sorry. Okay, so we have email. Okay, and also we have first name and last name. So we don't want to write this string first name. Why? Because tutavyoenda freeze atavyoenda kufanya from JSON and to JSON atatafuta key called first underscore name, which haipo here. It's first underscore it's first and atatafuta first and then capital letter N and name. So here haipo, so this is going to be a problem. But we want to define the we want to name it as this. So how can we eleza freeze kwamba we need to define it as this, but go and find a JSON key with first underscore name. Okay, so with that we can use something called JSON key. Okay, then JSON key, and then to ask you which the name. Okay, so here we're going to use find this one first, underscore name. Okay, and then The same applies to last name. We don't want to define it as this, but we need to instruct go and find this JSON key last name, but we are going to call it last and capital N. Address, there's no need, and but phone number we will need to do that also. So okay, so we're going to have string address, okay, and then JSON key for phone number. Okay, so okay, so we're going to have a phone number. Okay, so phone number, phone number. Okay, so this is how it is. It's very simple and easy. The beauty of this, it means next time okay, add another any field attribute here, where utakuja tu hapo utai add and then to generate. There's no need to manually going to all of those ambao nilielezea from JSON to JSON without using freeze. You have to do it manually and go to every method ambazo zinatumika kwa ajili ya kufanya hizi kuconvert and kufanya hizo serialization, deserialization, kufanya zile to string for debugging purpose, kufanya copy width and equality. So with this you just define it here and then itaongeza. So next time ukiona maybe city, you just add city, then you generate. Okay, so this is how these are the only data we need. Okay, so now after adding this, you are going to go and kwenye terminal and then that make sure kwanza una easy package JSON serializable build runner freeze and freeze the annotation. Okay, go to that, sorry, go to that runner build build runner, just D for deleting conflict output, that run build runner. Okay, 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 so imesha generate. So as you can see here, so with the use of that extension kwanza inakutengenezea this part of, okay, which you have to do it manually yourself, and inakutengenezea this annotation and this syntax which freeze to understand. Okay, so we didn't need to do that, kulitaja takufanya hivyo with the use of extension. So all the files imetengeneza to JSON from JSON, as you can see here. Okay, and also imetengeneza is method. I can see here, this is a you don't need to modify it. Okay, just give it an instruction of how you want your field to look like, and then it will handle the rest. Okay, so this is to string, you see, and this equality. Okay, and this first name last name Mona, this is coming from JSON. Okay, so that I think for here we are done. Tumesha generate customer model yetu. Then we're going to quickly move to services. Services here hapa tutakuja kufanya tu dealing with HTTP calls. Okay, I think you can call it services dot that. Okay, so here define, deal na weka is calling is endpoint ili ziweze kutuletea hizi data. Okay, let's define our class. We're going to call it customer service. Okay, okay, and for testable code, we need to add required things which are needed for this customer service to work. So we're going to need deal for dealing kwa ajili ya network calls. Okay, so we're going to generate constructor. It's a required field. We are going to add, why you don't know kama ndio hipo. Sija install hipo. Okay, Let's send it manually. I don't know why it's not. Package deal. Okay, so we need deal for network calls. So we're going to define our first method ambayo itakuwa ni tunataka to fetch all customers. Okay, so we need to we're going to use DATs for handling errors. Okay, so okay, so I'm going to call failure. Okay, so this failure is just a class. Okay, it's for giving us this I don't know why this is not working. We need to import it manually. That I don't know what's wrong. Package. Oh yo. Okay. Nataka hata ifanye auto import, so it's wasting my time. That's okay. So we need an either failure. Okay. So a feature of either failure, when I mean the left side, and a list of customer model. Okay, we're going to call it fetch all customers. Okay, let's say async. Okay, so we need to wrap it in try catch. Okay, and here we are going to first on the exception. Okay, we're going to catch it, and then we're going to return the left side with e.response dot data dot let's put it to string. So response hii ni kuja kwenye dio, so this is from dio. Okay, sorry, I forgot to add failure here. Then okay, so hii ndo tunataka to fetch this all customers kwenye endpoint. So we're going to use the use of dio. We have something called response, or response is it on a wait. Okay, it's a wait dio. Okay, dot get. Okay, this is one of the common method ambazo zipo, tutatumia zote ambazo ni common. So okay, so here we are going to add I'm going to URLs. I need something I've defined. URLs. I will show you. Paste URL, and then I'm going to add URLs dot customers. So this is it's just an static string base URL. We're dealing, because I'm dealing with a local host, This is I'm going to get all of these customers. Of course, next time ukija kubadilisha deploy it on live server, you're going to change it here. Okay, so we want to check, so we say if response.status code is equal to 200. Okay, so if response I mean, it means I'm going to have customers of response. It's a list, of course, response from data, but it's going to be inside data, okay, according to this data, and then inside of it, if it kama ungekuwa hauna it means you can just get it from response.data. Okay, so because it is inside of this data, I need to put it that way. So customers dot so there's two scenarios. So there's sometimes there's response inakuja but there's no data. Okay, so that's why we're going to check two scenarios. First, if there's data, and the second, if there's no data. Okay, so if the customers is not empty, it means this data, it will come with the easy data zake. You need to return right side, right side, because we are using DATs. Okay, so customers dot map customer model from JSON, and then we're going to put it to okay, so customers.map, sorry, we need to use this, and then model from JSON, the string from JSON to list. Okay, so okay, I mean convert all of those from JSON and return it as a list. Okay, else return, of course, return the right side but with an empty list, so we can show to the user that there is no data right now. It's complaining with using const. Okay, so if it's a response of 200, else just return the left side with an error, or okay, so return left of the failure. Okay, and just give me that response data to just put it to string. But sometimes errors zinaweza zikawa zimekuwa defined, mtu wa backend amezidefine, amezi arrange vizuri, so sometimes you're going to have to task to make sure hizo errors unazipata from a specific place. Maybe sometimes inaweza kaja ikawa ni data and then in an error, then you're going to maybe say the error, maybe with the message, and then you're going to, you know, so it depends on your backend anaretaje errors. Okay, so this is it. So we're going to fetch all customers. We're going to return the right side if there's data. Okay, and the response is 200. Also, we're going to return the an empty array if there's 200 but there's no data. Else, we're going to deal with errors and just take them, and then we're going to display them for user. So with the use of that, so that it can help us in handling network handling errors. So if there's going to be error, it's going to return it on the left side. If there's going to be a successful response and there's some data, then it's going to return for you right side. Okay, customer service. Now let's go to define a block quickly. Okay, so inside the presentation, you just add a block folder. Okay, and then you're going to right click, because to may add the extension of this one. Let me show you this freeze block. We're going to have that tutakuwa na uwezo wa kutengeneza block with the use of that extension. Okay, so we just go to presentation, then I've created this folder block, and then just right click it and then create freeze block, and then just write tutakuuliza the name, so just write customer block. Okay, so itakugeneratea all of this customer block. Of course these errors zitatoka after tukisha run build runner. Okay, so itatengeneza state, itatengeneza event, itatengeneza customer block. Okay, so now the first thing is we need to define we can start with event. Okay, so we can start with an event, or let's start with state and then tutaenda kwenye event, because block ina two things. Kuna event, when a certain event happens, what do you need to do, and when you do that, what state do you want to change? Okay, so unataka kuchange state gani kwenye application, unataka kuonesha kitu gani, unataka kutoa kitu gani. So that's all about state. Okay, so let's define our state. I want to use another way, not this one. Okay, so so factory initial, I want to use another one. I will show you here. No need to add as a const. Okay, so what we need is const factory customer state. Okay, and then I'm going to okay, so we need a couple of things. We need to define the state. We're going to have required bool. We're going to add is loading, which it will help us to not deal in network calls to show something. Okay, to indicate something is we are doing something. So we're going to also add is a string. If there's an error, we need to show to the user. Okay, and also we're going to add a required list, because to fetch all customers, we're going to have required list of customer model, and then we're going to call it as customers. Okay. Okay, it's defined not. Okay, let's import it. Come on, how do I define it? I don't know what's not customer model. Oh, this is not right. Okay, it's okay. Okay, so but we need to add our initial state. Okay, when the block start, it's going to be our initial state. Okay, so we're going to add customer state. Initial is going to be false, is loading, and error is going to be an empty string, and customer is going to be an empty array. Okay, so and I think kwenye block we need to, it's going to be our initial. Okay, I'll remove this. Okay, so after defining our state here, we are going to quickly move to event. Okay, so let's go to event quickly, and then the first, I think we need only one event for now, which is get all customer event. So we're going to add factory customer event. We're going to call it get all customer. Okay, so sorry, get all customer, then I'm going to call it as get all customer. Okay, so this is going to be our only event that we need for now, because we want to fetch all customers. So when this event is added, we need to trigger and give an instruction block to do something. Okay, so let's go to block. Don't mind of these errors after generating, they will be fixed. Okay, so I think we are done for now. Everything is good. Now we need to generate this, which it generate copy with all of those important methods that are needed. And the most powerful thing we need from this state, that's why to define here, we're going to have capability to copy within just changing something, and the rest leave it as it is. Okay. Okay, so let's run the same command, that run build runner build underscore d. Boom. Okay, so let's see where can we, so the same thing, copy with, this is very important, we need it. I think there are other methods, some equalities to string to check the state. Okay, so all of those methods that they know they are needed when we are dealing with block is the added. Okay, so we are done. As you can see, tumesha add and then to add event. So let's move to block. Okay, so in block we need customer service. Okay, because that's the one responsible for fetching information from the server, so we need it. So ili tuweze kudetermine na kujua what state to move. Okay, so this is customer service. Okay, and okay, so kwenye block there's something called on. It's one of the APIs. So on, we're going to add get all customer, because we have defined it kwamba tutakuwa tuna event inaitwa get all customer. On get all customer, what we want to do. Okay, so we're going to define, can you give it to me? I never know. Okay, okay, so we're going to say on get all customers. Okay, so I think create a method, we don't need okay, on get all customer, we need to emit. First of all, we need to emit. So with the use of copy with, we need to emit is loading and put it to true kwamba we are on, tupo kwenye a process ya ku retrieve some information. Let's put customers to an empty list. Okay, and we're going to result, we're going to store that here, the result of await dot customers services dot give me that fetch all customers. Okay, we need to put it here as an async. Okay, so the result of that. Okay, so because here, if you hover it to either, and either there's a method called fold. Okay, so with fold it means there is going to be a left side and right side. Okay, so we need to deal first with the left side, meaning there's going to be some kind of errors. We need to emit state dot copy with, and then errors, and then just get it from message from the left side, and then return is loading to false. Change the state to loading is false because we are not loading anything. Okay, and then there's going to be a right side. Okay, right side we emit. So emit is like change the state. Okay, so we're changing the state to another state. Okay, so because we need a right side, because we know the right side is going to be a list of customer, and then as usual say is loading to false. Okay, so that's it. Okay, so we're going to see how we're going to call this. So, and after calling this, it run this logic, business logic, and then it's going to give us the information according to the response coming from the server. Okay, so now let's move to UI, and then and we're going to see how we're going to tutaconnect vipi UI yetu na block, so itupe information ambazo tunazihitaji. Before moving on to our UI, we need to do some dependency injection. Okay, so dependency injection just simply inject all of the dependency kwenye certain classes at the runtime, so you don't have to do that manually, and it helps us kwenye to avoid a mess when we have a lot of dependency. Okay, so if customer block, in the end it will need some maybe customer service, and then it will need other maybe 2 or 3 dependency in order for it to function well, and all of its method. Without using dependency injection, it's going to be an issue adding those all and instantiate them all. So what we've done here, we just register DO as a singleton, and customer service and its dependency, which is DO, and customer block. Okay, so with the use of GetIt help us kwenye kufanya easy injection. Okay, for us, we don't have to worry. Okay, so after that you go to main.dat. Okay, here. Okay, so meaning kwenye entry point yetu. Okay, so wait dot setup, we call it setup locator. Okay, and it will handle for you those dependency that are ready to be injected kwenye certain classes. Let me show you a bit of how the problem is. Let's say we need to call customer service, and we need to fetch all of customer, so we need to call customer service. Okay, we need to instantiate it, but it inahitaji dio for it to work kufanya kazi vizuri. So we need because we didn't use dependency injection, we need to also add dio here. Call it dio, and then we need to add call dio. It's going to, maybe I think it's need to import, and then we got to add, we need to import it, and then when we are going to we're going to after doing that, ndio tunaweza peke yake tukaweza ku fetch all customer. Okay, so this is a mess because customer service ikija kuhitaji more dependency ili iweze ku execute method zake ambazo zitakuwa labda zimeongezwa, it also will have to do the same procedure. So imagine kutakuwa kuna dependency 10 au 15, maybe the app is growing so big. We will need to do this in order to access to kupata setting method and execute it. So this is a problem. That's why we have to use dio. So we will add them here. Okay, and after that we are done, we are going to call this customer service anywhere kwenye application yetu. So let's do this response, go to locator customer service. Okay, sorry, with tunafuta tu okay, let me just call result. Okay, so with the use of DO, we didn't need to do all of this, instantiating this DO and all of this. We just call locator and customer service. It knows what are the dependency needs, and from there we can do some kind of fetch all customer. Okay, so you see it's a bit clean, and hata kama to add more dependency later on, it will help, it will handle the rest, and then we don't have to do it. So we have to go to the locate to the this one, and then added them here, and then it will handle the rest. Okay, so this is the biggest issue we are trying to solve. Okay, so now let's quickly move to let's wrap it. In order to use block and all of its I want to wrap it. I want to mostly nataka kuweka kwenye multi block in case. In order to use a block, set a block ambao tumedefine for us, tumedefine customer block, we need to wrap this material. You can wrap it inside the material app, which the benefit unapata kwenye application, kwenye all over the app hata grow, but of course this is not recommended kwa sababu sometimes application ikiwa kubwa sana, you don't have to touch main.dat. So mostly you're going to add this block kwenye a certain page that you only need to use that block. Okay, so for us the app is so small, we can wrap it kwenye material app, and then we're going to get to use it. Okay, so customer block, this is a type. Okay, so create okay, so create okay, and I've shown you the use of locator, the use of those dependency injection. Just add customer block. Okay, so this is it. Customer block, because of the locator, it add the dependency of customer service, and then we're going to have we're going to use it easily. So this is the beauty of dependency injection. Okay, so after that, Flutter demo, how did I call this? Just how I think Flutter gen, I don't know, project. Okay, so now tumesha add this, so it means at the runtime it call this setup locator, it add those dependencies for us, and then it will we're going to use them kwenye application yetu. I usually like debugger show to force. Okay, I don't want when I run to see the debugger that. Okay, so let's go to customer page. I've just created this. Okay, so we are going to define our interface. As you can see, the final one ambayo nilionyesha mwanzoni, how it's going to look. Okay, so okay, so here we're going to it's a scaffold. Okay, background, let's background colors. Okay, let me do this. Let me just add this all, and then I'm going to explain to save time. Okay, display all customers. Okay, so what I want to do here quickly is to let's use center, and then I want to wrap it with block builder. So block builder kazi yake is just how can I Flutter block, and here is customer. We are dealing with customer block. Okay, here we're dealing with customer state. Okay, so block builder is it's going to give you it's going to handle the state and show certain condition ambazo wewe utazidefine according to state itakavyo change. So if you want you want to render something based on state, you usually use block builder. So it will build that according static change, it will build to the condition out to the widget or interface ambao wewe ndio unataka iwe according to the certain state. So we usually normally use block builder. There is block listener which listen and build accordingly. Okay, so all of those are the one of the APIs ambazo tunazitumia sana kwenye block. Okay, so what I want is to, so initially it has to be an empty container. I'm gonna explain to you. Okay, so initially, okay, if there's nothing according, if the state could change na haijabadilika kwenda kwenye certain state ambayo sisi tunataka to listen na ku change the UI, normally we just return an empty container. Okay, so we want state, if state is, so if state is loading, meaning here it's where we're going to render the list of customers. Okay, so okay, so if state is loading, what do you want to show? Okay, meaning tukiwa tuna fetch hizo data. Okay, so I want to center this circular progress indicator. Okay, circular progress. Okay, I wanna center it. Okay, that's the first thing. And else, what if the state customers is not empty? It means there's some customers. Okay, it's not empty. Okay, so what we wanna do, okay, I will explain there. But also, else what if the state, what if there's an error? Okay, what if the state of error is not equal to an empty string? It's not equal to an empty string, because we say initially it's going to be an empty string, but if there's something wrong, we're going to have to show to the user what's wrong. Okay, so we're going to say return center the child is going to be a text. Okay, so just a text which you just show what's going on. Okay, so error. Okay, so okay, let's to avoid these errors. So what if there's an, kwa hiyo kukiwa kuna data, what do you want us to do? Okay, what widget do you want us block builder to render? Okay, so we need to list all of them and display them inside the list view. Okay, so list view, it's just going to arrange them according to vertically. Okay, so list view builder is mostly used ukiwa una mostly kama una fetch items kwenye APIs or anywhere ambao you don't know the amount of items. So okay, but also there's list view.custom, I think count. Okay, so custom, it means we can also, okay, I think that I never use count a lot. No, I may badlika, but I think maybe in grid view.count. Grid view. Yeah, in grid view there's count. I don't know why it's in list view. Okay, so we are using builder because we don't know length of our items. Okay, okay, so here we're going to, an item builder is going to have, we're going to say what you want to build on this. Unataka kuweka widget gani when you have a data. Okay, so this is where we put it in an item builder. So we want to return a custom card, and then custom card, I've just defined it. It's an reusable widget which display that item customers in a card. Okay, we're going to see, and here, so it's just a container that has a decoration of border radius and some box shadows, just for, you know, to be a bit, you know, nice. And then we have a size box, inside the row we have a size box which is going to render this image, and then we are going to have the width of it, and then we're going to display this pop-up menu according to ile UI ilionyesha mwanzoni. So this is going to be a card. Okay, I didn't want to define it because of time, and it's going to be a okay. So first customer model. Okay, so this is the data. I want to take a current item and then assign it to assign it to this custom card, current customer current index, and then we're going to put here data. Okay, so it's going to render each customer on its own card. Okay, so that's it. That's the meaning of that. And then we have to say item count, which is going to come from state.customers .length. Okay, so yeah, I think I usually use shrink wrap, but I never know what it does. Let me see. Create scrollable linear array of widgets that are created on demand. Okay, so this is only what we need, and we need to we need to use something called init state. That's why nimedefine stateful widget init state in a call setting things ambazo unataka kuzidefine hapa when the widget is called when this object is inserted into tree. I mean, maybe when it's it is mounted or rendered. Okay, so what we want to do is whenever this widget is on the tree, we want to call this with the use of BLL off, block off. Okay, we use snippet because of adding Flutter Bloc extension. Okay, this one I think this one block, it also needs important. Okay, you need to have it. Okay, so here we define customer block, and then we're gonna add this event called customer event.get all customers. Okay, so what we are doing here ni kwamba tunapo render this customer page, and when it's inserted into the tree, we want to call this block. We want to add this event kwenye block, and what it will do, ita start with a loading, because as we defined here kwenye customer block, when this event is added, first emit is loading, because we're going to deal with network calls, so we want to show it an indicator something is, we are working on it, and then we're going to return based on and there's response coming from the server. So it's going to do that. So whenever this page renders, it's going to call this, add this event, and then it show a loading indicator, because we say if the state is loading, then show me a cycle progress indicator, and if the state is not empty, it means we have response imekuja na data. Show me and render for me those list of customer. Else, if something is wrong, then show me the error. Okay, so you're going to show me here else, just return an empty container. Okay, so I think we need to run this and then to see. Okay, so let's just run this and see if it's working. Okay, so this is going to be an initial page. So after that, it's going to run this. Going to call this event, and there should be some loading indicator, and then if we have data, then it's going to display that. So let's see. I hope haitachukua muda mrefu. Okay, it's it may happen so quickly because I think it's a local server, so there's no. Can you show me a bit? Let's see a loading indicator. Yeah, so you can see a loading indicator chap before inatoka because of you see, and then it's loading. So this is the UI that we've built. So I will share this code so I can. So this is an image. We give it some width and height, and then guard. And this is a pop-up menu. We're going to use them. Okay, so these ones need edit, we need delete. Okay, so okay, now I forgot something when I was showing this. We need to also add a page to show a single customer. So when you click on this, it should navigate to a single page and display that information. It's going to be very simple. I didn't want to spend a lot of time on that. And of course we can translate in another method. We are still left with create, which after clicking this is going to show a page for creating. Then we're going to deal with also edit and delete. Okay, so let's move on and fetch a single customer and display it on its own page. Okay, so now we have a task to display to fetch single customer instead of all of customer. So if you go here, the first one is let's say we want to fetch all customer. Okay, it will display. But what if we want a single customer? So there's an endpoint where we just put a slash. Let's say we need this one, an ID of 19, and then you hit. Then it will give you only a single customer. Okay, so let's implement this and display it in a single page. Okay, so first thing we go to customer service ambayo ndo tuna deal na kudeal na HTTP calls. Okay, so we're going to define that method. Okay, so we're going to have customer model. Okay, and then this method we're going to call it a single customer. Okay, single customer. And then we're going to we need an ID because we're going to pass it, and then it atupa information based on that ID. Okay, so okay, it's complaining. Then we just, as usual, try a catch and just copy this because it's going to be the same on the exception, and then this. Okay, and then inside, as usual, we're going to have a response from Dio. And the response is going to be await. Okay, so dio dot get path. We need to let's copy this. It's going to be the same one, except tutaongeza kitu kimoja slash that an ID. So it's going to be this slash an ID. Okay, so it's the same path. But we're going to add a slash an ID, which is we're going to get it from this parameter. Okay, so as usual, we're saying if response, because here we know it's going to be 200 if something is if it's okay. So we're going to say if this response is going to be 200, what we're going to do with it. Inside, we're going to get that. Let's call customer because the same single customer. And then response dot data it's coming from, it's inside data. Okay, you have to very be careful. Response dot data it start with here this. Okay, so we need to get it. It's inside data, and I'm only Nico now we tell you I'm focusing on this. I don't need this. Okay, that's the whole point of defining this way. Okay, so if response is 200, and then we're just going to return right side with a customer model from JSON, and then just pass that customer because it's a single customer. Okay, but if there's something wrong else, just return left side and failure. Okay, so failure, and then just give that info. just give me to string, because kujaweka proper way of handling errors. I just didn't do that, so I just give me anything that's coming from the data and just convert it to string. Okay, so we are done here, and the next step is moving to customer state, and then we're going to add one thing. Okay, so which is required. We need, because we required customer model. It's going to be null initially. Okay, customer model null, and then initial we need to add it also. Okay, so customer initial is going to be null. Okay, that's it. And then we need to go to event and define that event. Okay, so you can see the pattern, and also you can start to understand slowly how to deal with this. Okay, it's the same factory, same const factory, called customer event dot, what we're going to call it, we're going to call it fetch single customer, and then there's a parameter inside it, kwa sababu tunataka tupitisha na id kwenye ili server aweze kujua unataka information za nani. Okay, so fetch single, we're going to call this fetch single customer. Okay, after that, and then tunaenda move to generate. Let's clear it and then just that random build. Okay, so okay, so okay, so imesha generate this. Let me add this state and then all of that. There's no need to go to check, because TL omesha. So we need to call on. We have defined it. I think fetch single customer. Okay, so we're going to say on. Okay, on get single customer. Okay, so create a method, and don't need this. So I'm going to copy this, and then I'm going to edit, because this is going to be for single customer. Okay, and then I'm going to add an async. Okay, sync. Okay, so it's loading, and is customer customer, please, customer is equal to null. Okay, because when you let's say we first may fetch single customer, then you return back to a lol customer. When you want to get another customer, you have to remove that the previous one, and so and fetch another one. Okay, so here we're going to say it's fetch single customer, and we need that event.id. Okay, so kwenye fetch single customer parameter, it's an id, which is an int. Okay, which is an int you're getting from an event, and we're going to see how we're going to add the event to the petition in id. Okay, so with that, then result from the left sides usually it's the same, and right side we just remove that. So at right side just give us that customer, single customer. So kama event in a param, you just get that kwa sababu tayari umesha define kwenye this in a parameter of an int. So it's easy, you just add that and it's going to handle that. Okay, so now let's move on to the UI. We're going to define a single customer view, which is a stateful widget, and then we're going to add this parameter as a required field. So it means I cannot render this if I don't have this an ID. Okay, this is the whole purpose of adding this. Okay, so it's when we navigate to single customer view, we're going to pass an ID. So it's a required field. Okay, it's an integer type. Where can we make this happen? We're going to go to customer card. That is the card ambazo zilikuwa zinarenda this this one. Okay, so this card, single card. So when I tap on it, I want to go to a single customer view. Okay, so let's go back, and what we're going to do, we just go to move to another page. Flutter provide us with this simple navigator.push. Okay, then we're going to say there are a lot of package that handles navigations, of course, but we're going to use this just for simplicity. CTX, no. Okay, go to single customer view and give me the ID. So where do we get that an ID? We're going to get that from this customer model, because this was all giving us the entire customer. Okay, so customer.id. Okay, and then it's going to complain. It's not going to be null. Okay, so when we tap on a certain card, a particular card, itatupeleka from to navigate us to this card. Okay, so as usual, we need to add this block. We need to add this event. Okay, we need to add this event. Okay, so we know how we can do that is by the use of BL_of. This is BL_of customer block, and then move to add the event. I think it's customer event dot fetch single customer, and we are going to get that from widget.id. Okay, so if this is a stateful widget, in order to kupata information, the parameters ambazo zipo kwenye hii, we have to start with the widget. Okay, because this is a stateful, we are kuhitaji kufanya hivyo. Okay, so we have to add widget.id, and then we're going to get that information, and then we're going to send this to kwenye customer service, and then itatupa information of that user. Okay, and here we're going to wrap with a block builder to handle the state and render certain widget based on the state, and then by default it's going to be an empty container. Okay, and then let's start. If the state is loading, we need to show let's copy this from customer page. It's the same thing. This one. Okay, it's the same thing, we don't need to write it again. Return for me that. Also return for me if the state is somehow there's some error, return for me. Okay, but let's say else if the state dot customer, okay, state.customer is not equal to null, because we know initially it's null. So if it's not null, what do you want me to do? Just return for me. Let me define this UI quickly. Return for me single child scroll view, and then child, give it a bit of padding, and then padding is called edge.inset all, just give it 5. Okay, and then within padding we need a child. A child is going to be a column. I'm going to see the final column expect children. Okay, so we need a size box because we want to render a simple we're going to give height decorated size of height times 0. Let's give it 24. Of course, this I've already media query dot size of width. Okay, and then we're going to render an image. Okay, so in order to render an image, it's inside our folder, it's inside our application. Just give it a path of it's inside assets, images / placeholder placeholder.png. I think I will have to show a better way of handling this, because what if we can misspell? Okay, so box fit.cover. Okay, box fit.cover, and then outside of the size box we're going to have column again, children. We're going to give customer info, and then we're going to give that, we're going to get that from state.customer. Okay, customer. Okay, it's not going to be null, is it? Okay, we need to add this. Let's give a space a bit, and then let's say size box dot height, let's give it 10. Okay, let's try this. Let's reload and see if it's working. So we are going to call this, and then we're going to, so let's say we want to fetch details of this Rylan. Okay, when you click on it, it's going to show us Rylan. Okay, let's close access alignment. Let's put it at the start. Okay, so this is just it. I didn't want to sijataka complicate sana single page. So when you go back, we need Maximilian. It's going to get Maximilian. It's not loading because haionyeshi sana. When you want Imelda, it's going to give us information of Imelda, and these are coming from the server. Okay, we are not passing anything here rather than an ID, and then an ID is going to fetch that particular information. Okay, so when you want to for real tone, it's going to be just show a bit of loading, then it display information. Okay, so this is how we deal. Maybe you want to show a single information of a particular okay, so this is how we do it. Okay, so let's continue with other features. Now let's continue with creation part. So let's implement feature create customer. Okay, as part of crowd. Okay, so it's the same here. Either we use either and failure, and we don't want to return anything after successfully creating the customer. So we're going to return a boolean with true or false, and we're going to see. So let's call this function create customer. Okay, so when you create customer, we need to pass some data in order to be able to create a customer. Okay, so okay, so we're going to use the same customer model. I'm going to explain a bit. Okay, it's customer model as param. Okay, so when you go to customer model, we have on this generation codes, we have to JSON. So this is how we send data kwenye server. Okay, so okay, so you like unakuwa tuna keys and na value yake, keys na value yake. Okay, so this is how you send data kwenye API. Okay, kwenye not how can I explain this? There are some other like Firebase and think or Superbase, maybe unaweza kuna another way of sending, but mostly when you're dealing with server, you send this data in this way. Let me show you something here. Okay, so we're gonna need customer model. It has ina method not only from JSON, ina hiyo to JSON. That's what we need in order to send data. Okay, so response, no, sorry, let's wrap it in try and catch. Okay, so as usual, this will still be the same. Okay, command copy. Okay, so response, then we have to have a response, then as usual await. It's network call, so we need to wait. Then we have path. I mean the method is post, and it's going to use this one. The endpoint is the same, this one, but only the method do it like a post. Okay, so we put it here. Okay, and we have also to supply data. Okay, so if it was a simple data, it means we can pass like this. So you have, let's say, username. Let's say you want to implement a login. Okay, username, then Petisha item here. Maybe you can say, let's show you something, param dot username, because we have username. Okay, and then last name. This is how you send that. Okay, so last name. Okay, and then you can pass here param. What's going on? Why am now to complete param. Okay, dot last name. Okay, so this is how you can you're supposed to send that in like an object, and then you give it those data. But with the code ambazo tumegenerate as a customer model, we have something called to JSON, which will take all of this and then we'll send them to the server. Okay, this method to JSON tachukua hizo customer model data zake zote, then to convert them to JSON, so we can be able to send that to kwenye our communicate with our server. Okay, so we're going to use to JSON, and it's complaining here because we have to return right or left. So the status code for create something and call successful, it has to be 201. Okay, but also you have to communicate with your backend. How come anyway, make sure it's just a response. Sometimes it doesn't do that. Okay, so true. And okay, else we return left. Okay, we just give us what's going on, just give us an response dot string. Okay, so this is it, simple as it is, no complication. So of course with the use of code generation tumeweza kutengeneza na hivi method ambazo tunazitumia also the same kwenye kusenda data kwenye server. So as usual, let's move on to block. Okay, so we need to go quick to event. Okay, so kwenye event we're going to have const factory. Okay, const factory. Let's go. It's the same custom event. Custom event dot, let's call this create customer. Okay, so we have customer model, and then as an event with that we pass param. Kama una event yako inahitaji param, this is where you pass it, and you give its data type. So when you're going to use to communicate with customer service, it's ita farm. Okay, so we're going to call it create customer. Okay, so let's move on quickly to state. Okay, in state, what do we need? Okay, I think we need to just say maybe we return something. Let's say we, I think this, well, maybe we can use sometimes, maybe you have to create some enum for handling this, but let's just do this. Customer created, okay. And it's a bool, and then let's just give it false. Okay, and okay, so we are just if we will check on the state if it's successfully, then we can emit its customers being successfully created. Okay, so I think I have that run build. Okay, and it's was successfully created. So here we're going to add on create customer. Okay, then we can just scale on create, create customer. Okay, so what we need here, we just let's say okay, create a method, and then don't just remove this. Okay, and then here the same applies to on create customer. Okay, just copy this. The only thing that is going to change, we're going to return this customer created to false whenever we're creating customer. Okay, and then we are going to take this as it is, and then okay, we need to add an async. Here we are creating a customer. We get that from event.param. Okay, so you can see the pattern. Once you start doing this, it becomes so easy, and it also increases productivity because of these code generation things, which normally if you have tried block, you can see kulikuwa kidogo kuna process nyingi just to configure it and make it functional vizuri. Customer created and this loading is false. Okay, so okay, what I want to do here, I want to emit this to return to customer.initial. I'm going to explain to you later on tunavyokwenda kwenye UI why we need also to return this to initial. Okay. Okay, so now let's move on to the interface and connect this block. Now let's move on to create a customer. So kwenye interface, so I want you to, okay, you can add this navigator.push. This will on the home page of the customer page ambayo ndo hii tulishaifanya. So kwenye icon button I've added this customer add page, the screen. So just navigator.push to go to this page. So what I've done here is we are dealing with form. Okay, so first thing, when we're dealing with form, we can use something called form widget. Okay, the benefit of using form widget, it means it handle validation for you. You don't have to write them manually. Okay, compared to text field, which doesn't handle this quite well. Okay, so this form key, it will be responsible to make sure everything is validated toja kuona. And also we need text editing controller to take input kwa user. So whenever you want to take input kwenye form, we usually normally use the text editing controllers, and so zitachukua input, and once you ukishazi initiate ukishazi, how do I call it, ukishaziandika kama hivi, you will have to apply them kwenye text form field. So here, this is a reusable text form field, okay, which takes any controller, hint, title, and a validator. Okay, so it is inside column with the text, and then below it in text form field. Okay, so in text form field ambayo inahitaji controller, and then this is where we're going to put that controller to define kuweza kuchukua input za user. And this is just part of styling. Okay, so this is a reusable widget, that's why, so we can use it and only supply required data instead of writing it over and over again. Okay, so you can see here I've added username kwenye controller. We're going to need username, we're going to need email, we're going to need first name, tutahitaji also last name, tutahitaji address and phone number, and lastly it's going to be a button. Okay, so let's, and we need to dispose them because I think they have some stream or listening capabilities. I don't know how to put it. So you have to always dispose whenever this widget is no longer on the tree. Okay, so it means whenever it's unmounted, unahitaji kudispose hizi, so zisiweze kulisten and kukuletea issues kwenye memories. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to submit customer. So this function itachofanya, itachukua hizi input zote ambazo user ameziandika, and then itasend kwenye block, ili block aweze kutuma kwenye customer service, ziweze kwenda kwenye server. Okay, so we're going to create some customer param. We're going to put customer model, and we're going to take all those values and then to submit. So we have username, we're going to use username controller.text. .text is where you get the value of that the value ambayo user ameandika, so you usually use .text. There are a lot of things here. Okay, if you value selection, kuna listeners, which maybe you want to listen whenever something happen, what do you want to do, but we need text. Okay, and also we need email. Okay, we're going to take from email controller .text. Okay, we need also first name controller.text. We need last name controller.text. These ones ambazo nimeshazidefine. Also we need address. Okay, it could be address controller.text. Okay, we need phone number. Okay, so it's going to be phone number controller.text. Okay, so baada ya kumaliza, we need to send this to communicate na block to supply the data. Okay, so with the extension I get this, and here we're going to write customer block. Okay, and we are going to add customer event.create customer. It needs a param, and then we have it tayari tumesha define. Itakuwa ni hii create customer. Okay, See, so this is how you take all those information, you supply that to block this event, expect customer model param, which tumesha define hapa, and then this ita communicate in a customer service, ita send to this data, ita convert that to JSON, then ita send to the API. Okay, so once after we are done here, we need to go to the button which will be responsible after user at our tap. We need to call that block and that function, so we communicate in a block. So here common button, this is a reusable button, okay, also which accept void, string, color, which we can add a lot of things that we can customize. So it's just an elevated button, okay, with a bit of some styling. Okay, we're gonna learn some on other tutorials how to create this complex from a simpler version to a complex widget that can be reusable and be very flexible and powerful kuweza ku accommodate na kuweza ku cover scenarios nyingi. Okay, so mostly kwenye big project you need to be uweze kutengeneza hizi reusable widgets that can be used all over the app without any issues. Okay, so we need to wrap this button with something called block consumer. So the beauty of block consumer is we are going to build the button and also listening on that after user click that button. So normally all of the time I use block consumer whenever I interact with the button, and or whenever I want to check and listen to the state of the block, or when I send something on when I click that button, so that communicate with the block. Always I use block consumer ili kuweza ku listen while I'm clicking on it. I need to listen to a couple of things. Okay, so you use block consumer. There's also block listener. You're gonna learn a lot of that later on. Okay, so okay, so what we want to do here is this. Kwenye hapa we need to do something. We're gonna go to if state is loading. We want to return a cycler progress indicator. Okay, so whenever this block out of hit button ita communicate directly, ita communicate moja kwa moja na customer block, ita add event. So tumesha define kule a couple of things vitafanya kazi. So we need the first thing is whenever it's loading we need to show a cycler progress indicator for better user experience, and also on listener here inside we are going to check if state dot customer created. We want to just show something. Okay, we want to show scaffold message. We want to show a snack bar that says something combined successfully. Okay, so we need to say something that shows snack bar. Okay, and snack bar content, we are going to pass only a text saying customer created successfully. Okay, and then we have something of duration. Okay, let's give it just millisecond. Okay, millisecond is around 300. Okay, so after this, what we want to do, something like we want to go back to a home page which will display all of our newly created customer material page, and then we're going to call ctext Okay, so we're going to go back to customer page. Okay, and then in route, we are going to, okay, I will explain a bit. Let me finish route. We're going to be false. So what is happening here is tukisha create, and if it's successfully, we want to go back, we want to clear all of this pages ambazo ziko stuck after baada ya push. With the use of this push, it will create a lot some yani ita create pages ambazo zitakuwa kwenye history. So we want to clear all of that, and we want to go back to customer page. The benefit of this, it means when you go to customer page, we will hit this init state because it will not be on the history, and it will fetch all of the users again. Okay, so let's try it. Okay, now let's test. Okay, so this icon tumeshaiwekea on press to navigate to customer page. Okay, so when we click, we will go here to customer page. Okay, and this is going to be the form which customer ataandika. Can we wrap this inside there? And say can you center it? Okay, that's okay. So this is the form, and with the use of input field to define this username, a dynamic, and a form. Okay, so this inside the column title, and then okay, so you can see how much imetusaidia here with clean, at least code na kwa more readable. Okay, so there's some validators here. So okay, so now let's test. Okay, let's test creating a user. So let's call John Doe username, email John Doe at email. I don't want to use email configure bad itajaribu kurun at email, sorry. I know this is John at email. We assume at symbol. First name is going to be John, last name is going to be Doe. Okay, address, let's call city. Okay, phone number, let's put random. Believe this is not available. Okay, and let's hit submit. And what's happening? Okay, so customer amekuwa created, and then imeshakuwa added here. So what I've done, that's why I needed to let me show you something. So after customer created successfully, it may happen quickly because it's a local server. We want to clean out all of the routes that are in the stack and return back to customer page. So it will help to make sure we want to call this init state. So init state we called kama still ipo kwenye history page, ilikuwa imekuwa clicked na imekuwa rendered. So what we want, we want to put it like it's a stream, So we want, when you go back, fetch again. So when you come here after the use of navigator.push and remove until, it means itakuja hapa and it found out kwamba hii haipo kwenye history, so it's like a new page on the stack. Then it hit again this event which it fetch again all customers, then itaonesha hapa. Okay, so that's why I wanted to do that. And also when you go to customer block, after successfully, it will also cleaning, because when you turn to initial, we are cleaning the state. Okay, so we don't want some catching. Okay, we don't want any sort of catching. We want to refresh everything and start all over again. So it will call this. Okay, because this is just a simple app, we don't want to do some catching. We don't care about performance. Okay, so that's what it may mean after everything. So itarudi hapa, everything is default, and then it will fetch again all customers. It will, after this, it will come here, it will clean all customers, it will fetch them again. Okay, there are many ways of approaching this, but you know, I've come with this way. So now we are done with creation. Okay, oh, let's test again. It's happening so quickly. Test user, it's happening so quickly, I don't know, of course, kwa sababu ni local server. Let's test user at email. Okay, tester, we're going to delete, of course, we're just testing. Okay, tester, last tester. Msinilaumu naandika kitu gani, why tester. Okay, so just, I don't want to write a real number here. Okay, 078. Okay, so of course we'll learn later on to do proper validations, all of this, managing form efficiently. Okay, so when we hit submit, customer created, and then it will fetch again from the server, and then it will pull. And of course kwenye server nime sort the latest to show here first. Okay, so that's good. Now let's move on to, we need also to update, to have capability to update. Okay, before moving on, I forgot something really important. Okay, so we didn't use the form key to validate. Okay, so the purpose of defining this form key here, and using form and then passing the key, it means the good thing, itatusaidia kuvalidate all of these forms, and then kama kuna logic tuli add hapa kwenye validation, then ita check if it's true, then ita validate. So before submitting this information to kwenye server, we need to use this form key by checking if all of the field ziko valid according to the instruction ambazo sisi ndo tutakuwa tumeprovide here. Okay, and if that's so, then submit or call this block. Okay, mwanzoni tulikuwa tuwezi kufanya hivyo, ilikuwa inaeleza tu kutuma. So now if we click submit, it will ask you to make sure all these are required. Okay, so if you write here something, okay, if you write here username, it will, and then you hit submit, it will, so it will know, okay, this is now, it's okay, it's valid according to the instruction given. Also, but the others are still not are empty, and we need them. Okay, so this is the use of form key. So that's the idea to validate all of this, making sure it's clear, and then before submitting. Okay, so now let's add the capability for customer to be able to kuweza update. Okay, so what we need to do right now is to implement an update. Okay, so it's the same thing, couple of things ndio zinabadilika. Okay, so if you can check the endpoint, update details of customer, I'm using patch. Okay, then you have to pass on an ID of that particular customer, and of course you can change or edit or any of this. Okay, so I've tried this. Okay, so you can write bots forward, maybe bots updated. Okay, then hit into your endpoint. Okay, so it bots updated, but also ukienda kwenye get all customer, you can check an ID of 16. Kwa imekuwa imebadilika. Okay, so it's a method, it's patch, but you only pass on an ID at the end ili iweze update a particular customer. Okay, so let's go back. I've just read it because it's the same thing, couple of things change. hapa unaweka tu param as we did kwenye create customer, and here on deal you just pass patch instead of post, and then the endpoint base URL, the customer, and then slash. You get an ID from the customer model, and then there's an ID. Then you tap pass data ambazo unataka kuzifanyia changes. Bas, then if it's successfully, as you can see here, give us a status code of 200. Then you can just return right, else, okay. And for after here, we know we go to block, okay. Then sorry, we start with customer event. Okay, custom event it's the same thing, of course, lakini tutabadilisha. This is going to be for an update custom, okay. And then we can go kwenye block, okay. So on, I think I called it update customer, okay. On update customer, okay. You can just write on update customer, okay. Then let's say you create, then I can come here, and then okay. So we know as usual we need an async, okay. And for speed, let's just copy this and we'll change some couple of things, okay. Okay, so we know is loading is going to be true, but also let's just say custom updated is going to be false. And then here what we need, it's in the method, it's called update customer, okay. And here you just say custom updated to false, meaning haijafanikiwa. And on the right side we're going to just say custom updated to true, and this loading is going to be false. And then at the same, we want to make sure the initial is we emit after everything, we emit a state to be initial, but because we know after here we'll go back to the home page. So what we need to do after this, we need to go to add and edit customer. We want to use the same page, okay. Nataka tutumie ile page tulotumia ku create customer. So we need to modify this to have also an edit mode where tutaweza kuweza kubadilisha some couple of things, okay. So we need to add stuffs here a bit. Tunataka a bool, okay, which is an edit. Also we need to pass, when we navigate to this page, when it's in a boolean mode, we need to pass customer data, okay. So we can just write customer, okay, and then generate constructor. But we don't want this error because it's a required, and this is a good the good thing of doing adding initial, okay, it remove those errors, kwa sababu imagine kama umetumia this page, umetumia 4 or 5 files, then you have to go kwenda kwenye hizo files zote then change. So this customer model, of course, we also want to pass it as null, okay, because we may use it to add customer. So tunaweza tukawa tuna hizo items au hatuna data za customer, so you add that. And also we need to check something here. If it's in edit mode, we need to assign all of this information coming the customer kwenye hizi field zote, okay. So what we need to do is to create a function check value. It means it will check if it's in edit mode. So we can say if widget is in edit mode, what we want to do, we want to pass on some text, username customer, to widget dot customer dot username. Okay, and it's not going to be null. Okay, so let's copy this, and then 1 2 3 4, I believe, and here we have email. Why is not autofill? Control email controller. It's coming, it's from email. Okay, and then also we need to add for first name controller. First name controller, it's going to come from first name. Okay, so we utafanya kwenye edit controller zote. Last name itakuwa from last name, and address itakuja kwa from address. Sorry, this is address. Okay, and lastly ni phone number. Okay, so phone number to come here from phone number. Okay, so what we need to pass here on init state kwamba check if it's in edit mode, assign all of these assign the values of the customer to edit kwenye hizi text fields zote. Okay, so we're going to see, and also what we need is to just to show to user kwamba we're in edit mode. So we will come here, okay, and we will check if we are in edit. Okay, if we're in edit, just write edit customer. Okay, else I need to remove const. Okay, so if we're in edit mode, just say edit customer on the top bar kwenye bar, and if you're not in edit mode, just use the same. And also lastly, okay, we need to add the function ambayo ita communicate na block for editing. Okay, so we're going to take this, and we're not going to use validation because I don't know. Okay, let's just leave it to make sure it's not empty. Okay. Okay, so here just change to edit customer. Okay, and then the upper the only thing changed is update customer, but all the data are the same. Okay, so so let's communicate with block by on top. Okay, so what we need to do is, if you can remember last time, to create to implement a method of creating customer. Okay, so we got tunatumia only one button, but we need to configure this. So if you're in edit mode, we can also tap an update button that can call an update event. Okay, so what we need here, what I can do is, on this center, I will do this. So we can say if we are in edit mode. Okay, I wanna do this. I want to, let me copy this, the same thing, the same button, but I will change a couple of things. Let's copy this, and what I can do here, what is it? Okay, so what I can do here, I can put else, but if we're in edit mode, I'm going to put this. So if we're in edit mode, change this to update, change the name of button to update, call the edit customer function. Is loading, it's the same, and after successfully, we know here we need to change it to say customer updated. So if it's true, we need to show that customer updated, and then we need to navigate back to customer page by clearing all of the routes. Okay, so it's the same thing, only this is going to be for edit and for edit mode. So the last thing, let's go to customer card. Customer card. Okay, ambayo hiyo we know we have this edit. Okay, so we navigate to push. When it's edit mode, go to add customer, but ensure mwambie kwamba customer page that we are in edit mode, so it will require us to pass the customer. Okay, so we go to customer page but in edit mode, and also we pass those items that need to be changed. And then after we come here, we check by using by the use of init state first. If we are in edit mode, we assign all those information kwenye text form field. Okay, and also this is going to be used kwenye update customer. Okay, so let's run this. Okay, so update customer, let's I forgot to add an ID because we need that in order for an update to work. Okay, iweze kufanya kazi. So let's go example here. We hit here edit. It will pre-fill all those information kwenye form, and then let's change. We don't want to say update. We're going to call it this the name. It's going to hit that endpoint and then create an updated version with the use of just navigating back, cleaning all the previous state, and then it will the widget will no longer be the tree. And after that, and then go back, it hit that init state. That's what we want. Ili iweze fill out the information to call that information again. Okay, so lastly, let's implement services. Let's implement delete customer. Okay, so it's the same thing. You just only need to pass an ID. Okay, the same URL, pass an ID, but also the method change to delete. So delete, you pass an ID, and if its response is 200, then it return true. Okay, so it can also be 2 or 4. So also in event, you're going to add this event, this one called delete customer, and then we're going to call an event delete customer. Okay, in state, just going to add this customer deleted. Okay, so as you can see, the pattern start to be the same mostly. Okay, after doing a couple of tasks. Okay, so here we add that event, and then on that event, what we're doing here is with the same, we emit customer deleted to false. We communicate with customer service, and then we pass an ID because that's what it needs. Okay, and then because tumesha define kwenye delete customer event kwamba an ID ipo, so we just pass here the same. And then on the left side, we just return false, and then also return the left side message, and then the same customer deleted will be false. But if it's true, what we're doing here is we're filtering out, tunatoa the customer ambayo amekuwa deleted by using not equals to the event.id. So we check, okay, with the use of where, and we check from this list that is from the state. Okay, and then we filter out, we return all of those customers which an ID are not equal to event.id. and then we say the customer delete is equal to true. Also, we pass on the new customers, okay, after filtering out. So new customers will be these ones that are coming after removing the customer with that. So this is just for trying to have the real-time capability ya ku. Okay, so let's try out to delete this customer. So we can okay, so I forgot, we need also to here what we're doing, we are passing a dialog. A dialog is just going the use of dialog is just to show this one. Okay, let me show you. If you hit, it's going to show this dialog. Are you sure you want to delete that particular customer? Okay, so let's go through. The dialog is because sijataka kutumia kuandika all of this kwenye the same page you may extract its own widget, but it needs the information of the customer because we need to display that here. Okay, so you can see this is an alert dialog. It's going to ask, are you sure you want to delete? Yes. Are you sure you want to delete that user or customer? And then there's two button, cancel, it's going to remove that dialog, and if delete, is going to communicate with block as we did on previous task. Okay, so it will communicate in a block, and then it emit. If customer deleted, it's going to show you a snack bar. And here we just call that event, that function that's going to call and add that event kwenye block. Okay, and customer delete is, we need to pass an ID. Okay, because that's how we defined it here. Okay, and then the rest it handle, it communicate na customer service, it remove this user. Okay, so let's give a try. Okay, so let's remove this Maximilian. Okay, so we're going to click delete. It's going to ask you want to show you want to delete Maximilian. Yes. Then Maximilian itakuwa remove kwenye the database, and then also itakuwa remove from the state. Are you sure you want to remove Imelda? Let's give it a try. Yes. Okay, so I think tumeshamaliza all of those information. Tumesha add, tumesha implement update, tumesha implement delete particular customer. Okay, tumesha implement to pull all those customers. Okay, so I think we are done there with the part 1. Okay, so I believe this is going to be helpful kwa wale ambao hawajawahi kutumia block to try out, and of course you can modify and move to more complexity by introducing clean architecture and arranging your folders and making sure to unaweka in a way that you understand. So we have seen how block help us. Trust me, if with the use of kama tungekuwa tujatumia freezed, there will be a lot of code here just to make sure block understand. Okay, and you see it's very simple, lakini tungekuwa tunaandika manually, we have to write a lot of things on ourselves. So imetusaidia to improve speed and also to only focus on the business logic. Okay, so you just give freeze what you need and the rest ata handle mwenyewe. Okay, so thank you, and part 2 is going to be optional. Of course, it's not a real thing, but we're going to focus more on testing, so we can learn a lot of techniques and a lot of APIs that are coming from that testing package that ipo kwenye Flutter. I believe nilishared, but I think it comes with Flutter. Okay, so this tutajifunza vitu vingi, and it's going to be necessary later on. If you want to do test driven development, you have to know a lot of method and techniques to test something before writing the real implementation. Okay, so thank you, and subscribe for more content and learning a lot of things. So let's go on to part 2. We're going to do testing too. I'm not actually kufanya kingine zaidi kufanya testing on all of these functions and classes ambazo tumezidefine. So thank you guys, see you.